what to write about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That was great sounds of Watts with Outside on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, with my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ. EZ BlueZ, you're better with introductions more than me. What is the topic of today?
Well, it's very interesting because when we actually talk about life in general, you always look at, and I come from the Eastern philosophy side where you have the good, the bad, and everything is balanced. You have the yin, the yang, you destroy as much as you create as much as you destroy. And your life is 100% balanced. And it seems we get further and further away from that. And we have to get back to it, where balance is one of the most important things. Because if you're living your life just as a worker, you're not happy. If you're living your life just as a singular option, you're not happy. You need to have a full holistic life, and balance is super important. So today we're going to talk about balance, and I'm not talking about walking across a tightrope between two buildings. I'm talking about balancing your life between work, family, social life, and all those wonderful different type of things. Now, this is something that everyone struggles with, and something that I definitely struggle with. I can get lost in the grind of work and become, all about the building in which I work at. And I can also become all about the family in which I live with. One of the things that helps me when I deal with the balance issue is taking that extra 5 seconds to breathe. We talk about editing a lot on the show, and editing really, works out as well, where you hold up an item of clothing and you say, in 5 seconds, does this give me joy? And if not, you donate that item of clothing. But you can do that also with relationships, with all those different things as well. Now, P, man, how do you deal with your balance? Because you actually come from like 3 different type of career job type things that you have to orchestrate into each other. How do you balance that?
It's horrible.
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna give you this plan. I'm not gonna give you this blueprint. I'm not gonna give you this, set way of structure and routine of your life. I just wing it and just go as it is. And I hope for the better. It's horrible. I admit it, but I'm just giving you my pure honesty of how I figure about it. I think I go more on the automated mental clock that every human being has within themselves. Like most days I don't even go with an alarm clock. I just wake up. It's the time I got to go to work, and I just, get myself together, wash myself up, and just get ready to go and just start my day. I would love to have a more structured routine and balance with my life. I think everyone does, but like in a way you really can't predict what's gonna happen. I say maybe there's some ways I can balance my life a little better. Most times, not all. I prepare what I have to do for the next day. Maybe I get my clothes ready. Maybe, I write down a couple things I'm gonna get to the next day, and most times I don't get to those things. I get to them
Right.
like later in the week. So when it comes to have like an actual like crazy balanced schedule, I don't think I'm in that lane, and I really think most people aren't in that lane either. They act like it, they approach it, they present themselves as that, but in my opinion, I don't think anyone has that good routine lifestyle. It's not, because most people, it's not the military. It's
Right.
regular life, You probably dealt with that, back in the army, a certain time you have to be somewhere.
No, you have that incredible structure. Don't get me wrong. The military, I love the military. They told me what foot to put down when.
Absolutely,
I didn't have to think at all. It was glorious. But there's also, there is no balance in the military. You are just a soldier. Especially during TRADOC and all those different type of things, you're not really, putting together a social life or doing anything like that. You're there to serve.
Yeah.
You're there to get things squared away and
Absolutely.
to make sure that it's squared away. So, there's no balance as much as it's your entire life and existence.
I agree.
So that, that's a little different.
Mhm.
But I love the fact that we're talking about the winging it aspect of it, because I feel pretty much the same way that you do.
Yeah,
I'm making it up as I go along. And I hope that it comes off that I'm
mhm,
living somewhat of a balanced life.
right.
And some days I fail, and some days I still have that piece of paper with the stuff that's written on there that I was supposed to get done 10 days ago. You know,
Yeah,
it
'cause
just happens, and you have to treat
absolutely.
yourself with grace,
Mhm.
because if you're not treating yourself with grace, it can start to pick you apart and really, really mess with you. And when you're already living somewhat chaotic or moment to moment,
Totally.
and there's sometimes you have to live moment to moment. There's sometimes where you're told for 2 weeks that you're off a certain day, and the day that you're supposed to be off, you get that phone call. Where you at? What do you mean where am I at? I'm off today, homie. I'm at home. I'm in bed. I'm
Mhm.
chilling. I'll be there in 15 minutes. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Just the way, life is set up today in
Right.
2024. The way money is, the way, inflation and stuff like how bills are paid, how you have to, go through life. It's hard to plan some stuff out. I mean, look at the fact we have to plan to have fun with someone, as you get older.
Yeah.
You have to plan, all right, we're gonna meet in 2 months from now.
Mhm.
We're gonna plan this time out. And then when you plan that time with your friends or significant other or whatever, it doesn't turn out the way you planned out. Maybe that restaurant you booked is packed and then you have to go to another restaurant again. It's not, I mean, the only way you have to balance is your mental health about it, how you feel
Mhm.
about things. You can't really, balance events and stuff coming to you, and it can get a little frustrating, just a little bit, but you just have to have a good positive attitude about it.
Right. Speaking of events, you're coming to Chesky, right? We have to plan.
That's that time
You
with
don't know.
balance.
You're like, I have no idea. Like if I'm there, you're like if I'm there, I'm
I
there.
don't think I don't think we'd be mad about it, but
No,
it
no,
happens.
it's just
It
always
happens. Yeah,
it's
no,
always a great time.
yeah, it always is a
You
great
know.
time. And Chesky, I think he's the most balanced musician ever, but his schedule, he's going to LA and then he's
Hmm.
going like to Texas and he's going like to all these places as an independent musician. I mean, maybe on paper, he seems like a balanced, structured person, but probably inside his head, 10 million directions are just going in there. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, look at you with the Shame thing, Shame Penguin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the disrespect. The Shame Penguin band. I can't say the Shame thing. That's highly disrespectful.
Hey
But
man, the shame thing. I like that. That's going to be the
maybe
name of a record.
Maybe, yeah, maybe I give you an idea for a record, and that wasn't a balanced thought I had in my head. But you know, you got four different personalities in the band, and it's very
Yeah.
hard with four different creatives in the band of how they want one song, how they want one thing presented on stage, how they want their art form. Because it's not just a solo art form; it's a collaborative effort. Just going up there on the stage and performing and making music, and trying to find the right cities to go to. Maybe two people want to go to this city out the four, or maybe that one
Right.
person's like, you know what? I don't know about this, guys. It's so much stuff going on within your team. It's crazy right now.
Well, one of the things that we really like work towards and
Hmm.
is that we actually are kind of like a democracy where
Yeah.
all four of us agree
Hmm.
or we don't do it. And that's the way that I guess we maintain the balance about where everyone feels like they're being, looked at or no one's looking and being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
No show gets booked without all four of us going, yeah, sure, we'll play that show. You know. Whew. I could only imagine what that would be like. I'm sure there are some bands
Oh
that
yeah.
they're like, oh well, maybe, we'll just book the show, and then the bass player's like, dude, I'm not even in this state that day. What are you talking about?
That's what
How
I'm
can we play
saying.
this show? We talked about it
Exactly.
with Keep Flying when Keep Flying was on the show.
Mm,
They played so many different shows, but not all of them as a full band. They had
mm.
different, you know, um, ideations of the band go out and play. And I think that is a great way to establish some different type of balance. as well, to understand what your obstacles are and to understand how to rise above them.
Right.
So that takes a lot. So high five to keep flying.
Keith Lyon or Mark Lyon? Keith Lyon?
Keep flying.
Keep flying. Sorry. It just sounded weird on my headphones. It was crazy. I heard Keith Lyon. That's what I heard.
Okay, word. No,
I
no,
thought
that's
Mark
why.
Lyon had a brother or something. You know, we had so many people on the show and on this program, on this platform. I'm better with faces more than names. It's crazy, you know.
Have we ever asked if that's actually his last name?
What? Last? I don't think we have. I don't think we have.
How come we've never asked if that's actually his last name?
I
Because
don't think we
I
have.
have a feeling like when Snoop changed his name to Snoop Lion, Mark
Yeah.
was like, "Me too." You know what I mean?
Like, how many people call you Dustin?
Not many.
You
Not
know what I'm
many
saying?
people.
Like, because
Yeah,
like,
no, I know.
like you accustom the name of Easy BlueZ. Not too many
Yeah.
people call you by your government. I bet some
Right.
people don't even know you're Dustin at
No,
all.
no, at all.
It's the
One of the
craziest part.
funniest
Yeah.
experiences. One of the funniest experiences was
Mhm.
actually at Stella Blues.
Yeah.
I had to pay. I had to open a tab with my credit card.
Right.
Now I'd been going to Stella Blues for years before I had to open a tab, because usually I'm a cash person.
Mm.
I go out with, say, $40 in my pocket. I'm gonna spend that $40. I try not to spend any more than that $40. If I spend less than that $40, that's a dope way to go about it. That's how I control myself. So I'll go.
Mm.
So I would go to Stella Blues, and one time I had to leave my credit card, and they looked at it, and then they looked at it again, and the bartender goes, "I really thought that the credit card was going to say Easy Blues. I'll be honest with you."
You know?
Yeah,
You know,
no,
like,
word. I get it.
there's some rappers that I know, like I
Mhm.
hear the government names. I had to like to double take real quick because I can't tell that's the real person or not. Like some independent musicians I
Right.
know. It's ridiculous now. But it was just a funny thought, because people don't really balance the two.
Well, no, it's super interesting because
Mm,
especially like you see it in hip hop, and
yeah.
especially where they will come up with like a stage name and different aspects there.
Mm,
And I did it because it's like my superpower.
right.
I don't have any superpowers, man. I wish I did. But anything that like Dustin couldn't do, Easy Blues was able to do, and I actually
Mm,
formulated that in the military more than anything else.
really? Okay.
Yeah, because the whole reason why Easy Blues even came up was I used to be in the band, Suck It Easy,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
and
Mm.
I
Little
I was
refresher for the
Dustin
audience.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm refreshing for the audience.
Yeah.
I was Dustin Easy because I was Tim Easy's like number 2 guy.
Mm,
And when you're in the military, your last name becomes your first name. My last name is really hard to look at and try to like say. So
mm,
people would just, I'd be like, "Yo, just call me Easy."
right.
And that's just kind of where it came from. But then, I'm in the military. I finally get my phone back, and I'm sitting there and I'm putting my Facebook together, and I changed it to Easy. But you
Mm,
needed a last name for Facebook for some reason. I couldn't just put one name. So I
mm.
was like, all right, well, the Blues Brothers have always influenced me, so I'm just gonna go Easy Blues. And that
Okay.
was where the whole thing came from. But
Right.
it really did come from, the military, where I was, oh, we have to scale this 40-foot wall. And Dustin's going, no, the fun we don't. And Easy's like, I got this. Let's go. Giddy up.
There you
You know what
go.
I mean?
There you go.
So that's kind of like where it all came from.
So Easy was more your confidence booster in the early stages.
Yeah. Easy's
Mm.
the superhero. It's the reverse Superman.
All right, I
You
got
know,
you.
because Superman's the only one where the human is the fakeness. You know, Batman's like, no, like my human is who I am, and I'm pretending to be Batman.
Mm,
Superman's like, I am Superman, and I'm pretending to be a hapless mortal that doesn't know what they're doing.
right.
So it's a
I
little
get it.
bit of a reverse Superman. And actually, If you ask for the reverse Superman, you can get a
Mhm.
half and half at Starbucks if you're in the Idiocracy. There's a whole bunch of people who are going to be looking at what I just said right there and are going to die laughing.
Oh God. Speaking of, food and like beverage and consumption, what how, is it for me personally, as I get older, it's hard for me to balance a diet,
Right. Of
you know,
course.
eating well, and then like, because don't get me wrong, I love healthy food, but like, let's just say I'm in a
That
funk.
makes one of us.
Let's just say I'm in a funk. I'm in like got a real like, low attitude, and I don't feel like talking to anybody. There's like a little pack of cookies that
Hmm.
could give me some temporary um satisfaction for a good 5 to 6 minutes. Just being in my own zone, my favorite kind of cookies, like favorite, get like a nice little beverage with those cookies, and go about my day or go about my night. But like but like probably like later on within the day, or just like, I feel like a little crappy because like I didn't need that unhealthy item
Right.
to consume. Um
But you did. So you didn't need it for the
nah,
healthy aspect of it, but you
nah,
needed it for the dopamine that
I
kicked in.
disagree. I disagree. I feel I can switch up what I eat,
Hmm.
switch up
Right.
just like different habits. Like maybe I can switch up those Oreos. I can switch up those Samoa cookies for, maybe some vegetables and some peanut butter. Get some celery and some peanut butter and just like switch it up. I
It's
can
not the
just
same.
I
It's
know
not.
it's not the
There's a
same,
there's a
but I
chemical.
can
Here's the
hold I can
and,
probably reprogram my brain
right,
to thinking it's the best thing in the
bro,
world.
bro.
Maybe I get some
But earlier in
vegetables
the
and some
show,
like ranch or something and just
hold on.
switch it up.
Earlier in the
You
show,
know? Yeah,
you just stated that you have trouble with balance. You
I
write down
do.
something that you're going to do the next day,
I
and you don't
do.
accomplish
And
that
I
for 3 days
never
later.
wrote that down at all. Ever. I never wrote down eating, not one bit. That was not in the memo. Not one single bit
All
at
right.
all. That was not
Okay.
down.
Okay.
To be
Okay.
honest, as I balance the truth on this program. Okay. That was,
Wow. Okay. No, no, because
yeah.
that's first of all, that it makes sense. And
Mhm.
there are dopamine that get released from that. There's
Yeah.
certain chemical reactions that your brain has to the
Mhm.
sugar and the chocolate and everything of that, which gives
Absolutely.
you, which can give you that same type of feeling as you feel love. That's why they call it a comfort food.
Yeah,
And there's different type of aspects of it. Hey man,
absolutely.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna talk about it, but I backslid.
Backslid on what?
I was doing so well, man. It had been years. It had been years, and then I was walking out of work,
Yeah.
and my dealer found me.
What, the Girl
It was
Scouts?
crazy. Yep, Girl Scout cookies, man. It was. I had no joke. I walked away with like
Yeah.
3 boxes of Girl Scout cookies
Mhm.
because they're so good and they're only $6 a box. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I saw this
ugh,
conspiracy theory on the Girl Scouts that they
no.
actually don't exist, and they get
Hmm.
paid to go out there and just sell the product. It's all about the cookies. It's not about the mission of love and growing up to be like role models and stuff like that. They're just out there for the cookies. People just know them just for that product. Mostly know them. Mostly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's mostly known for the product. I just saw like this crazy conspiracy theory. I forgot what platform, TikTok or whatever, that they are just plants, and they just
Right.
bring the girls out there and they just sell the product no matter what it is, the Thin Mints, the
Right.
Samoas, the peanut butter cookies, the I forgot the
Hmm.
one was like the s'mores cookie too. Like they have so many
Yep.
varieties now.
So many good
It's
cookies.
crazy. Yeah, now I'm promoting someone to get Girl Scout cookies now. It's the craziest thing when I just talked about switching up my
Well, no.
style to eat healthy. See, I wasn't balancing my goal, what I was trying to say. It's ridiculous right now. But
No, it is ridiculous, but you have to understand. Like, I love, first of all, I love conspiracy theory, and
yeah.
that is one of the coolest conspiracy theories. If it
Mhm.
wasn't for the fact that I actually know women who went through the Girl Scouts and
Yeah,
like got like their presidential achievement award and all
yeah,
that kind of
of
stuff,
course. Like I'm not
you know.
knocking the accomplishments, but I thought it was like a crazy theory, like
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
it
believable,
completely,
like you
completely. And how come Boy Scouts
yeah.
got like the short end of the stick? Like, you don't talk about anything cool with Boy Scouts.
I
Boy
never heard
Scouts didn't have a
anything.
cookie,
I never heard
right?
anything about the Boy Scouts since I was like 8. But
Right.
the Girl Scouts get all the clout. They get
Mm-hmm.
so much
Those
clout. It's
cookies.
crazy. Like Boy Scouts don't have that thing. They don't have that
No.
cookies. They don't have that nothing. They got
Well,
nothing.
Girl Scouts are so popular, dude. They
Yeah.
had Thin Mint flavored Dunkachinos.
Yeah, they Samoa's everything now. They got
Right.
Samoa milkshakes and like
Mm-hmm.
the brand, the advertising is just next level. I don't even know if the Boy Scouts are in business no more anymore. Like, come on now, you're a parent. You
Yeah,
seen
word.
anything back in the day of recruitment for the Boy Scouts? Nothing.
I did. No, I
You
did. I
have.
did.
That's
When
crazy.
when the younger two were in
Yeah.
elementary school,
Mhm.
they had like some Boy Scout propaganda, and we
It's crazy how
got
you say propaganda.
I know I said that on purpose. I
It's
was just being funny.
like, and I believe you because like you got to be the best salesman in the world to promote the Boy Scouts. Like you got to
Yeah.
be on point. You got to
Right.
like
Yep.
that's even
And Girl
harder.
Scouts, you're like cookies.
Yeah, and then they're in. You know what I mean? Because like there's no one that can say no to them. No one at
Right.
all. But when it comes to the Boy Scouts, you really gotta put in the work to get someone to join your team. That's like that's more work than joining the Army, Air Force, Navy.
Word.
Well,
Well, dude, I was a Boy Scout for like about a week and a half.
Bro, I was a Boy Scout for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, word.
2 weeks, and then I just stopped going. just like there was like nothing to be told. Like boy,
they're like, here's a book,
yeah.
and this is the way to earn badges, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna spend some time in the woods. I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to spend time in the woods. Who wants to? Can we get some cookies? Like,
We
I
got
was like, I will
nothing.
outsell everybody. Like, hook me up.
We ain't got nothing. We ain't have like cakes, nothing. Like we ain't got.
No.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Horrible.
You know what else is horrible? I forgot to say the tag like 2 minutes ago on WNH LP 103.5 FM New Haven, because like this really sparked my interest. It was crazy because I wasn't balancing my time. That's the topic today on the show.
Yes. Yeah, we swear the topic is about balance and not Girl Scout cookies.
I mean, shoot, they balancing the money.
They are. Who it's like literally the formula that works all the time, and maybe they do it because you can only get it a select time of year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is, and maybe it's because we all feel bad that we're donating to this.
Nobody feels bad that they're donating to them. Nobody.
I don't.
Nobody feels bad.
I'm like, no, and the Girl Scouts is like
feels
they run
bad,
my
bro.
pockets. They run my pockets every time.
See,
every time
they do it at that right amount of time, springtime, Easter, and then they get all their money. Like this is their peak season right now. I'm surprised they don't do holidays.
It's true. Can you imagine Girl Scout cookies on Christmas?
Yo, in a gift box?
Oh, sir. That's so much money right there.
Who will say no to that?
No one.
Who would say no to that? 5, 6 boxes in a little nice gift basket for the holidays. Who would say no?
Who's going to say no to little Cindy Lou Who that shows up on your freaking doorstep?
Right? Yo, forget that. Right in the front of the Walmart, Target.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right there
Dispensary.
with the cookies, ringing the bell. You don't even need Santa Claus no more.
No. Just Girl Scouts. No, I can't say that word. I was gonna say we should just pimp out the Girl Scouts, but
no,
that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
No,
I meant
I'm mad
hustle.
you just
I'm not. See, I'm disappointed in myself. I'm
Oh
not mad. I'm
God,
disappointed
topic
in
over.
myself.
We weren't balancing this subject. Topic over. Oh my God, cut it out. No, topic over. We are gonna switch. Oh my goodness, back to the diet. My God, no. This just ended. This is censored programs. We try to
Word,
make this
no.
a family
But what
show.
I was
My
trying
God,
to say is we
yo,
should take that formula and figure out ways to add in the gift boxes and those different type of things
okay,
and
that's
fully get their hustle up. Unfortunately, the street term and the topic doesn't really make sense when you're talking about the Girl Scouts. All right, but people knew what I meant, and they're like,
I knew
"Yeah,
what you
he's not
meant.
wrong."
But we always got that one person on the
Oh
independent.
yeah, oh yeah, and that one
We got that
person
one person on the independent. No matter how
put it
wholesome the
put it in the
story
car, put
is,
it in
they
the
flip the
comments.
narrative. No
Uh-huh.
matter, it could be the best article in New Haven, Connecticut, the best article ever, and they just switch it up, saying it's an agenda. It's crazy how
Yep.
much haters this platform has. It's crazy.
I love it. And you want to know
Yeah.
something? And if you have no one to hate on, feel free to hate on me. It's
Oh,
okay.
I know it. You want the work. You want
Let's
the work.
go.
It's
Hit me
crazy.
up.
You want the work.
People found extra work for me. It's great. Now now people find me out to try to be like, I
Right?
I have a beef with you. I'm coming after. I'm like, word. I'm right
Exactly.
here. I'm not,
Exactly.
I'm not far. I'm not
Dude,
far.
how do you balance the opinions of other people?
I remember that
Hmm?
opinions are like trying to figure out the right way to say this for the air. Opinions are like
Yeah.
uh remember that cereal of New Day?
Yeah, I remember the cereal
They're
dude. I'm not gonna say it on air. Yeah, I remember the
yeah,
cereal dude. I'm not
like Bootios. You know,
God,
it's
Lord.
a
Yeah,
cereal.
yeah, you said it. Okay.
Opinions are like Bootios.
Yeah.
Most of them smell like poop.
But
You know.
I get your narrative, but in a
Mhm.
way, if sometimes we have to hear the opinions of others. I mean,
Oh
sometimes they
yeah.
make us better. Sometimes
Constructive
yeah,
criticism is so
criticism
important to help you
is
grow in
very
different things
important.
like
Like
that.
what
Yeah.
we're doing now, we want the constructive
Yeah.
criticism. Like for your
Right.
music, you want that constructive criticism. That's why you go like to a producer like a Vic Steffens or like any other person who's been in there for a very long time. You want to see their critique of what they think because they've been doing it, longer than you. And you
Right.
want, a good, honest opinion of how they feel.
Right.
And and it's always good, but I think balancing the disrespect and
Mm-hmm.
balancing the respect and how you react to it is, very important. Reacting
Well,
to something, you don't have to react to everything,
I was
you know.
lucky enough, and I say I was lucky enough, but there's a whole bunch of people who will look at the way that I grew up and will not look at it as lucky. But I was lucky enough to
Right.
have my grandfather who genuinely loved me to death, but also would
Mm.
pick on me to help me
Oh,
develop like this really thick skin. So literally, no one's opinion bothers me because the man who was the most important person to me in the entire world was picking on me, and he was better at it, and
is
he
there
taught me to be
any
better at it.
is there any way and is there any time they go too far? Did
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, a couple times,
Yeah, yeah.
where like it brought me to tears, being a young kid and different aspects there,
Mhm,
but it took away the power of the bully,
mm.
where when I was in elementary school, someone calling me Four Eyes didn't matter because I'd heard it already. Four eyes, yes, I have four eyes. Great, it's better than two. Keep it moving. Like I really hope you come up with a better diss than that, or something along those lines. Or you turn it around and you become really really vicious in ripping other people apart. I've been in some verbal altercations where I've said some things that are rough,
Right.
and sometimes super personal. And I remember when I was working on a different podcast a long time ago.
Yeah.
We were doing like a joint single, with that kind of like a posse cut, and there was someone who was left off of the posse cut because it was taking forever to get it, and we wanted to release the song.
Mhm.
And it was a song that no one owned the rights to the beat, so no one was making any money. There
Oh,
was no money to be made.
wow. All
There was
right.
no money to
Yeah.
be made here. There was no
Okay.
money to be made. We literally
Mm.
all did it for the love of the music, and we just wanted to release something as like a posse type of thing.
Yeah.
And the dude was like, "Oh, that's my beat, blah blah blah." I was like, "Bro, that's nobody's beat, man. That's nobody's beat." And I was like, "And let's be
Oh,
real, like you're the one
man.
who's sitting and talking trash about everybody behind their back this entire time. Like they
Yeah.
shouldn't even want to hang out with you, let alone be on a track with you."
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? And so that was me being super mean, and those different type of aspects of it. Since then, I've had conversations with all parties, and we're all back to being just peachy keen and fine. But yeah, those heat of the moment times, it's rough, and it's really tough to balance your temper, because at the end of the day, you're
mhm.
still a grown human, and being a grown human, you're not going to be talked to a certain type of way. I remember when we were at another station, and someone at another station really liked to talk to people like they were to talk down to people, and I looked at him and like, I came into this station a grown man. I'm gonna leave this station a grown man. I'm not going to be talked to like that. I'm just not. It's
Mm.
just, you know what I mean?
Put your foot down.
Yeah, you have to protect your boundaries. It's so super super important for your mental health. If I wasn't protecting my boundaries back when I wasn't taking my mental health seriously, I would probably be a much more wreck than I am right now.
Mm.
So,
Now you were doing podcasts before they were popular.
yeah, dude, I was doing
Oh,
podcasts.
Lord.
I've been doing podcasts for 20 years.
Shoot.
Yeah, and you want to
I
know
didn't know
something?
this. I didn't know this.
I'm gonna find the old Easy Town radio stuff, and we'll listen to it. We can't listen to it on here because it's not radio friendly. I mean, it's radio friendly, but it's not FCC friendly.
I got you. I got
But
you.
yeah, the Suck It Easy group used to actually get together, and we did sketch comedy stuff, and a
Okay.
lot of it was improv and different stuff, and it was so much fun.
Mm.
That's how I got into podcasting.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know this.
yeah. You learn something new every day.
I'm a little shocked, but I'm not actually. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked because I probably heard that personality in some conversations that we had outside of this program. So I'm not
Oh
shocked at
yeah.
all
Oh yeah. I've
that you had all
definitely
these skits and
yeah. Oh dude, and like I said, there's
yeah.
like we did, the Dysfunctional Family Feud,
Hmm.
and it was the UNT family,
Right.
right? Versus the Lingus family.
Mm. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just imagine with all the way you can play with the names, how you get all that up there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, a lot of different things. And I've done some of those character voices just in normal talk because I get bored. I'll be like, "Hey, how you doing today?"
Okay.
Or
Those where those voices came from.
yeah,
Okay,
those are
that makes
those
a
are
lot of
those
sense.
those are those voices,
Hmm.
or the I played a professional slide whistle player.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and that was a whole thing about, and when you have the taking care of the slide whistle, it's with the pulling and the blowing and the pulling and the blowing and the
Oh
pulling and
God.
the blowing. Yeah,
So
see what I'm saying?
you had numerous characters.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a bunch of different characters on there. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a great way to kill like a Friday night. We'd all go hang out. We spend like 5 hours like recording the podcast, and then I'd show
Mhm.
back up on Sunday for Foley with a Boley, and we'd add in like the background sounds and do some of the editing, and then we'd release the episode. It was really dope.
Mm. For balancing being a parent.
Mm.
I know we talked a little bit about this a couple episodes ago when it was like parenting entrepreneurship, like trying to
Right.
separate the two and like with moderation, but just daily life in general, what I'm saying? 'Cause you got kids, you got three of them, you got three different personalities, nobody's the same. And you have to put a little structure into that when you want them to collectively do the same things in the household, when it comes to chores and regular responsibilities like homework and just like focusing more on their goals, stuff like that. um Mentally as a parent, how do you try to get not 100% balance, but a good majority.
Well, it's like screaming at a tree hoping it'll fall down.
Oh Lord.
It's really frustrating.
So nothing is
Well,
organized.
nothing works out. No, because no matter what, someone's
Yeah.
feelings are going to get hurt. No matter what,
Mhm.
something's gonna happen. The best way that like I accomplish it, like for example, this past weekend, I had a lot of work that I had to get done.
Right.
So I
Absolutely.
wasn't home for as much as I'm usually home to be able to spend extra time and watch some TV with them, or make them a great meal or something along those lines. So I have to present them with, okay, here's the deal. I want you to grab your phone and I want you to set a timer on your phone.
Right.
Because I know if I'm not home, they're going to play video games all day. But at 6 o'clock, there's going to be a timer that's set on their phone, and they're going to
Right.
get up and they're going to make the pasta. And I know that because
Mm.
I've sat there and I watched them put the timer in. So I know that at 6 o'clock, the timer is going to go off and they're going to know it's time to do something different. So, I try to set them up not for failure, but, I'll look at it and be like, okay, look, when I was 14, the last thing I wanted to do was take care of anything, so I wanted to just veg out in front of the TV and play my, I think I had Sega Genesis at that time, played my Sonic the Hedgehog and just veg out, or NBA Jams, which is one of the best freaking games in the hit. He's on fire. That was my favorite game. But yeah, so I would play those, and I didn't want to do like the responsibilities, and I would forget about eating and different stuff there. So I sit and I give them timers, and like I'll check up on them while I'm out. I'll text them. I'll be like, hey, have you guys eaten yet? Are your chores done? Did you shower? Different things like that.
It's a different time when I was growing up. I was not forced to go outside, but I was
Mm-hmm.
encouraged to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played the video games at nighttime. So nighttime was the time I played the video games. Like when the sun was out, there was so many people outside. Like that's how I, interacted with people and
Right.
made some childhood friends. Back in the day, like when I went outside to play, back when I was like, 7, 6, 9 years old, because like you had great loads of people outside you could just talk to in the neighborhood and just play outside with. And then the video game time for me was like 64 PlayStation, that era. And that's when I went inside to play the video games. So that's how I balance my lifestyle, just mentally. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what's missing today. But it's a scary world out there. 4 kids and 4 teenagers, they can play outside and somebody can just come out and hurt them or whatever. Like
But
it's a different
that's
time.
always been there. That's always
Yeah.
been like that, though. It really has. Like,
Mhm.
everyone's like, "Oh, it's a scary time now," but man, look, I watched enough Cold Case to realize that scary things have been happening for decades, man. Like, let's be
I
real.
believe you, but I avoided all those scary things, you
No,
know?
no, no. We did. We avoided all
Yeah,
those scary
I
things, and the main difference, really,
mhm.
like for me in particular, I also had to, go outside and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I also came from a single parent household. So there was some points in time my mom was not home.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Me
saying?
too.
So like I didn't
There's times my mom was like never at the house too, because
right.
she was always at work. She was like at the hospital, like
Exactly.
working. And there was
Exactly.
time I was just like by myself at the house. It
So
was
you could
cool.
just be
Like,
by yourself at the house, and if you're
yeah.
by yourself at the house, it's dope. You do whatever you want. You can watch those shows you weren't supposed to watch, and you could do, you know what I'm
That wasn't the
saying?
case for me. It was homework, it was chores, it
Oh
was,
man.
yeah, like it was, very it wasn't like a military type of thing. It
Hmm.
was like a teach me
It was
kind of thing.
structured.
Like yeah, it was very structured, teaching me kind of ways to be better. This is your time for homework. This
Right.
homework needs to get done before I get home. This is your time, for cleaning the stuff. And then you go outside, play with your friends. Make sure
Right.
the door is locked. So that's when I got a key. I got a key like 9, 10 years old, with my
Hmm.
key. So I got the key to the house.
Yep.
And I had to stay on the street. I had to stay on the street. I couldn't go anywhere else.
Right.
Like when my parents or like when my grandparents were home, I had to like stay. It was like very strategic with the rules.
Hmm.
Very
Right.
strategic. This is where you can go. You can go to this store, but don't go anywhere else. you know,
Right.
that's how it was for me. And
Mhm.
every childhood's different. Don't get me wrong. No childhood's the same, but that's how it
Oh
was.
yeah, no. Yeah, no. Like for me, I coming from also having a young mom who didn't
Mm,
know what she was doing. She
mm.
my mom didn't become a good parent until around when my sister was born.
Wow, really? I'm
Yeah, she
surprised.
tried. She tried, but she was just so young. She was 20 when she had me. We
Mm,
grew up together,
right.
and it was just a different type of atmosphere. And she had so like when my sister was born, she was more seasoned. She understood.
Mm,
She already knew what it was like to have to change diapers, and already knew what it was like living by the seat of your pants, and
right.
things were a little bit better, and in that time frame. And then things get better, they grow worse. It all really
Mm.
just depends on how you take a look at things.
So you're the
But
oldest.
oh yeah, I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the oldest. My mom, like I said, my mom had me when she was 20 years old, and dude, I remember being 20. Nah, I could not be a responsible parent at 20. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I
Yeah.
became a responsible parent at 29. You know what I'm
And that
saying? Like,
that's when you had your first child.
yeah,
29.
yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's great knowing these things about you on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Raids, Elm City made EZ Blues is in the building. The most balanced thing I said this whole entire show. But yeah, I don't know. Some people say I have a father qualities, but
Hmm.
I don't see myself with little kids. I don't.
Well, one, I think one, you're a high caliber human being. So I do personally think that you'd be a high caliber parent. That's just the respect that I have for you. And I see the way that you are. You are an amazing uncle. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? You are like the dopest uncle out there. So
At least someone thinks so.
yeah, no, they do. I hear it all the
Uh,
time.
no. This little Rugrats will knock them around.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what's needed though. That's what's needed sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you play him in PlayStation.
Oh yeah, and I beat him crazy, embarrassingly beat him. And the little controller that I don't know how to do, and I just put like I act all tough with the gamer gloves and just put it on and just talk my smack, and they get a little in their feelings that I said I beat them when they really didn't. But
But dude, is that any different than like when we were growing up and you had that uncle that did that with dominoes?
I never yo I never played dominoes.
What? Okay.
I
We
never
we gotta
played
change
dominoes.
that. Dude,
I
I
never
love
played
dominoes.
dominoes.
You play spades though, right?
Play spades, yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was the family game, spades. I
Yeah.
wasn't good at it, but I played spades.
Wow.
I'm better at it now.
Right.
I'm better at it now, but like back then, little kid, they just put me there as a plant. If they couldn't find a part, they just picked me, and I was just like right
Dude,
on the table, and yeah.
I got an idea for an
Mm.
uncensored show.
Oh Lord.
You and me versus Reese and Marshall in spades.
For my mental health, no.
Okay.
If
You don't think
you
that'd
want
be
to do
fun?
something separate for the Preston Easy Blue show and do like a little
Right.
stage program, maybe you and like Kron versus Reese and Marshall, go
Okay. All
ahead.
right.
You
All
got the
right.
green light. But for me
Okay.
personally, I'm just gonna just step aside. For my mental health, that's not gonna
All right.
happen.
Okay.
Because
All right.
I'm in a great space mentally right now. So I'm just gonna
Okay.
some stuff you have to balance
You do. You have to balance some stuff,
and
and you have to set the
avoid.
boundaries.
You
Yeah,
gotta
that's.
avoid some stuff to balance. You
I
can't,
respect that.
exactly.
I respect that. I respect that. But
For
oh
sure.
man, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
might have to go over to Kron's house and see if I can get a spades game going.
it probably 99.9% will happen.
Nice, nice.
And for
Oh,
those who do not know, these are foreign people we had on the show. Kron, Reese, Marshall, we had these people on the
yes,
show before, and they're good human
yes,
beings
yes.
who I will not do that project with at all. At all.
Ah,
one bit, but
Okay. No, it's
I would,
understandable. It's understandable. I respect the boundaries, sir. I respect the boundaries. I respect it.
speaking, a little earlier we were talking about, and we only have like so little time left. Social media,
Mhm.
tablets, video games, too much can be, we could be like a little zombie from it.
Yep.
Especially we don't want to talk about the younger generation. But let's talk about using like our
Mhm.
eras, the millennials and Gen X,
Gen X.
Gen X and millennials and Gen X. We can get trapped a little bit, and
Mhm.
that 30 to 45 minutes, we can just be, trapped.
Doom
What are
scrolling.
Yeah, doom strolling. What are some ways we could just like, in your opinion, that we can balance that?
I take actual breaks from my phone now where I will leave
Mm, of
it in another room
course.
for at least an hour.
Mm.
And that's usually the worst too, because that's when I'll come back and there'll be like 30 text messages. I was like, oh, people actually needed to get in
Ooh.
contact with me for this hour. That sucks. But yeah,
But
I've had to go that far.
can you answer every text message on time? Some messages don't need to be answered. So,
I don't.
some
It,
don't need to be. Like some common sense text messages don't cannot be answered right away. If it's something very serious, yes, respond. But
yeah,
something
yeah.
when a person can do on their own that they do not need your input on, that can wait a little bit. Yes, respond back to them. Don't ghost them when it comes to the
Oh
message.
yeah,
But
no, or ghost them, or do what I do. Be like, you realize this is ridiculous. You're grown.
I mean, you can say that too if you have a good relationship with the
Yeah, if
person.
you've got a
If
good
you,
relationship,
yeah,
I'm
if you
like,
like
yeah.
you could definitely say that. But I'm
Mhm.
just saying some messages don't need to be responded right away. If you already at least know the answer to
Right,
that response, what you're gonna get, or it's
right,
completely common sense where you feel like you're
yeah.
wasting your time texting that person. Yes, I agree with you. But phone in the other room is a good idea.
Right.
I really do.
Phone in the other room. But see, I'm also I come from, again, a single parent household where TV raised me. So you've just shrunk TV down for me and
Yeah.
put it on something that I can hold in my hand at all times. Like I love being able to be stimulated visually in those type of aspects. So I literally,
Yeah.
like I do, I have to walk away from my phone for like an hour.
Yeah, that's good.
And then, or one other thing that I'll do is I'll put the speaker on for my phone
Hmm.
and I'll just play music and I'll get a whole bunch of stuff done
There you go.
in that time. Be like,
Yeah, I think
okay, now,
music's a really healthy app
yeah.
to have, when even if it was Android, Apple, whatever. But
Mhm.
music's very healthy.
Well, for me, I don't know if it's more than everyone else, but for me, I know that it's what works the best for me.
Hmm.
I can do anything with a good soundtrack,
There you go.
so it works out the best for me.
Yeah. And working out the best. Any encouraging words on balance and structure with life to the average individual, since we're closing out.
Well, cut yourself some slack, because no matter
There you go.
what,
Of
you're still only human,
course.
and you're gonna make mistakes, and you're not gonna. There's gonna be lists that you'd never get to. There's just gonna be
Mm,
lists that you never get to, and try to set yourself up. Like, for example, there's this one show on Paramount, which I won't even talk about the name of the show, but
right.
there's a one show on Paramount where it's new, and I don't necessarily like it, but I don't hate it.
Mm,
But I have that choice. If there's nothing on, I can watch this show that I don't necessarily like, don't necessarily hate, or I can do something else. And I wound up doing, like, last night. I was like, I could watch this show, or I could go to bed. And
right.
I was like, you want to know something? Instead of wasting an hour, I'm gonna just go to bed.
There you go.
So make sure you set yourselves up with boundaries and you cut yourself some slack.
I'm with that. I really am. I'm really in with that. This has been a great topic on balance, unbalanced
Unbalanced. There you
conversation
go.
that we had on balance. But it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good on
Pretty good.
WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made, Mr. E. BlueZ. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much.